All right, welcome into another rundown of the Great League. I am here with the league frontrunner, Alex, and we have the league. I guess we got a
Yeah,
competitor in here, a top four, Matt. Welcome, fellas. Biggest news of the week. Sorry, I just cut you off there, Mac. Biggest news of the week. Alex with the first loss. How is your team going to respond? First of all, how do you feel about your first losing week?
I kind of feel like the Lions right now. Kind of just had to get punched in the face first and come back to reality. I did have a couple buys, I think, so I had to start Jeff Wilson, which that didn't help. I think if I would have started McCole Hardman, I might have been close, but either way, it had to happen eventually. So kudos to Cameron. Had a great fight. He's got a great team. He's definitely been making a lot of moves, but we're on to long snappers, as Bill Belichick would say, on to long snappers.
Yeah, you two play each other this week. Matt, you have slowly worked your ranks up to playoff contention at number 4. How is your team doing? How are you feeling? I believe you lost barely last week. But then you two, as you said, you play the big dog this week. What's the spirits like in Team Long Snapper right now?
the locker room, it's fallen. I'll say that things have quieted down. We came into the season a little too excited. I think had the first overall pick, and since there, it's just really fallen off. You told me I climbed back up, but I don't know that I've really climbed anywhere.
Yeah, it looks like you dropped one standing.
I feel like I've kind of stayed in this 3 to 5 zone the entire season. So I was really looking to pick up that third, fourth win. I think whatever is 3-3 I would have been, but didn't get it. So excited to see I'm still in 4th place, but I don't know how long that's gonna hold.
Hey,
I'm putting up points, just not in the right times.
Hey, all you got to do is make the playoffs, man. Look at the Diamondbacks. They had like a minus 15 run differential. No one thought they were going to win it or be in the World Series at all.
That's true.
That's true.
You just got to catch, what do they say, lightning in a bottle.
I'm going to take that attitude and put it. I'm going to talk to the team. We're going to bring it against you on Sunday.
Well, you can wait a week.
I will say, looking at the overall point efficiency this week, I was in the 97th percentile. And for
good.
coming in, being someone who's a repeated least efficient manager, I'm proud of that. I'll give myself a pat on the back. I didn't leave any points on the bench this week, I guess.
Yeah, that's an efficient manager. I believe Cameron was. I don't know how they come up with this efficient, but Cameron was 100% efficient. Like that's not true, but I guess he got every point that they thought he was going to get, which I've never seen before. I also haven't been paying that much close attention to the efficiency. But before we get going, can we please comment on Alex's little backdrop there? Talk about a professional streamer. Holy moly.
Yeah, it's really just a clothing rack and a blanket. Like I said earlier, I said this to Wyatt earlier. I have just a random stairwell just protruding through my ceiling right here. And I thought
you at the top of the stairs or the bottom?
I'm in the middle floor, and just upstairs just goes right through. So I wanted everyone to focus on us and not the backgrounds. So I'm doing it for the Great League.
I think I need to upgrade my setup because that looks pretty damn good.
Just hoping it doesn't fall off the blanket. Let's roll.
Not to talk about myself too much, but after making the trade, my first ever trade in quite a while, I did put up the highest points, 154. I beat my opponent, Johnny, by 65 points. Biggest blowout by far. Very happy with my team. Thank you, Matt. I do have your first overall pick now, Travis Kelce. Looks like he's just right in his stride right now. I think he had 12 catches for 140 yards last week. He's going to do the same thing this week against the Broncos. So my team, they've done well after that trade. So I'm very pleased. Go ahead, Alex.
I just want to ask, how do you feel about making that trade? How many years has it been since you made a trade? What did you feel inside after the accept button went through?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's exactly accurate if I haven't made a trade because I'm pretty sure I traded Nick for a tight end 2 years ago. But I mean, I just don't do trades a lot. But
Right.
I'm very hesitant about trades because I always feel like I'm getting screwed, and I don't know. I just never have a good feeling with trades, so I try to stay away from them. I'll just try to rebuild my team off waivers. But I was realizing week after week that my tight end was complete dog shit, and like I think I said it on last week's podcast. It was 3 combined weeks of my tight ends where they combined for 3.4 points. Like it's so like 1 week they had 0.7, the other week there was 1, and the other week was like 0.9. Like they are trash. I was like, I need a tight end. So I went out and got the best. I don't settle for average. I go for the best. So Kelsey's on the squad. I'm a Kansas City fan. I am now a Taylor Swift fan, but more importantly, Travis Kelsey fan. So I'm very pleased with him. I'm very looking forward to my team in the upcoming week. See if they can continue this because I got a championship caliber team that just wasn't fitting at the right times, wasn't hitting the right stride. But I think we're hitting something special here. So I'll happily take my $20 for the highest score of the week. That was my accomplishment. So I was very looking forward to that. I'm going to quickly say one more thing before we do the upcoming week. Two very competitive games. Alex and Cam, again, we just talked about very competitive game. Cam squeaked that one out by 5 points. Cam's squad is not bad as well. He's up to number 3 now in the rankings. And then we just talked about you, Matt, you and Wilberding were in a close fight. Wilberding pulled that one off by 9. And then we had me blowing a team out by 65. And then we had a battle of the two tards at the bottom here, 98 points and 95 points. Hanlon squeaks by. Terrible. I mean, for those of you that I don't even know if anyone watches this that's not in the league, but we have an extra flex. We have an extra player in our lineups, and they still scored 98, 95. And then the lowest score of the weekend, Johnny, had 90 points. I mean, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I don't know what I was kind of hoping we were going to have one of those 90s on here to see how the attitude is in the locker room because it can't be good.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough look, you know. I mean, I know I haven't been on the past couple of weeks. I ghosted. That's on me. But as someone, or for those guys who are continually the lowest scores and never showing up just to show face, or just doing a live shotgun, it's I don't know how I feel about that. That's just kind of I don't know.
Cowardly.
Having lost to John, I'm a little bit bummed because I feel like, you know, Liam, Island Boy, they're at least attacking this every week. They're on the waivers. Island Boy is picking up people I didn't even realize I'd dropped yet. And the effort is there. The energy is there. I mean, this guy's up at 2 a.m. on that waiver wire before it's even switched time zones. And that, you know, Johnny, other than that shotgun video, just haven't heard from him. Don't know what he's up to. He's not picking anybody up. I just wonder if the spirit's there. And it hurts that I lost to him because I feel like where was I?
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. I've lost to a couple of those teams, but I mean, just talk about the league in a whole, and I can't get too high on my horse right now because we lost Alex. All right. Welcome back, Alex. Can you hear us and everything?
Sure can.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Going back to it, I don't want to be on my high horse because I had one good week, but I kind of feel like there's 3 teams in this league that don't belong this year. And again, I might be on the border of that. However, I've scored some big games. I've also lost. I was a lowest scorer once, but we now have Hanschlong, Adrian, and Johnny, and I think all 3 of those guys are double shotgun losers.
Yep.
And I'm the other one. I'm the single. So between the 4 of us, we've accounted for every lowest score. And again, I'm not going to put myself in there, but I'm on the border of being in that crew. But it's a 2-horse race here. It's a 4 teams and then the bottom 3, and then I'm just on the middle ground here. But you guys kind of feeling that in the league? There's just the 3 bottom players they don't really belong.
Yeah, I agree. But does this start the conversation of expansion into the Great League? And I only say that and to open the can of worms because we got those three guys already. Well, Liam at least, he's already preparing for the future. He's already stockpiling draft picks and whatnot. So, is that something we need to address, or what do we do with guys who tank? Like, is there an accountability thing? I'm not saying anyone's tanking right now, but
Well, yeah, part of the rules is you're only allowed to trade so many draft picks. I think you can only
okay,
trade. I mean, there's something in there that you can only trade however many. So I know that's built into the system, the rule system to prevent tanking. But
okay,
I think it's three of your top five, or so I don't know the exact wording. I can pull it up later, but yeah, I think you can only trade a couple draft picks, so you can't just completely.
fair.
Yeah, but no, I mean, there's definitely some teams in here that are pretty much done. But again, it's still a close league. Obviously, you're 6-1, Wilberding 5-2, and then we got a 4-3, and then 3-3-4s, and 2. So it's still pretty close. I'm not going to say it's not a close race, but just the way teams are scoring at the moment, it's kind of seems like there's three bottom feeders that are scoring the bare minimum, and it's crazy that two of them played last weekend and they both
It was
scored in the
close.
90s. It was close. It was a battle. But yeah, that's all I'll say about it. I don't want to talk too much about it because I very well am close to being in that category. But yeah, it's something that I'm glad we talked about.
I'm glad we're having this conversation too. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I guess like in talking about that, knowing this is a keeper league, when are you guys starting the rebuild? Like I'm sitting at 3-4. I've been in 4th or 5th place here since this game started. Should I throw it in? Should I move on, start collecting draft picks, or
I don't know. The thing is though, at least speaking on personally, the last two games I've had some nail biters. So that means like Nick and Cam could easily be, closer to one at least. So I mean there is some parity. And then like Matt, you can still go off anyways. Like you still have Lamar Jackson who went off last week. You lost in a nail. Did you lose in a nail biter? I'm guessing.
9
Yeah,
points.
yeah, you lost in a
Monday
close
night?
one. So it's like at least the scores. Yeah, there's going to be a couple stinkers, but at least the scores are kind of competitive for the most part.
Yeah,
Except
that's
the three teams that are scoring in the 90s.
For the most part.
For the most part. Yeah, I mean that's all I'll say. For me, I don't look towards the future at all. So I'm only focused on this season. I still think it's gettable for a lot of people. There's some that I will say is not gettable for, but I think the top. I mean, technically even Liam. I mean, he has the same record as me and you, Matt. Like he's kind of gettable. I mean, he's also been the lowest scorer twice. He's also been the highest scorer once. So, yeah, I don't know. It's still gettable to me. I won't think about the future honestly until I'm completely out of the playoffs.
Let me ask you this, Wyatt. You're sitting there with $63 for the waiver wire. That's
I've been
half
rebuilding.
of the other lowest. Is that a concern for you? Do you feel like okay?
No, because I just find guys that I want and I bid them, and then I realize no one else bids.
Apparently.
Yeah, I guess it's just not as active as I thought. So if it worries me, like I mean, I got a lot of depth in my opinion, so I'm not super concerned. And at the end of the day, if I find a guy I want, like I feel like people aren't really bidding at the moment, so I could just maybe put in a $1 or $2 bid and get them. But yeah, I've definitely been bidding high. I've been bidding high. I also bid $50 on McCaffrey's backup. He didn't play a snap, so I dropped him.
Yeah, that hurts.
It was a good buy at the time, but yeah, I mean it's a little concerning, but also, I mean those don't carry over. You get another 250 next year, so.
Yeah, I kind of just throw out numbers when I'm bidding. I don't really know how I should preserve it or not, so I'm kind of just like throwing out 10s, 15s, 20s, just seeing where it lands.
Yeah, I throw out like 21s and 26s a lot, 51s, because I think people are gonna do like the base numbers. But yeah,
This
It's
is the first
definitely
week I haven't made a single move, and I just, I was like, I'm gonna take a breather. I feel like I've been hot on the waiver wire. Last couple times through, I've bid on guys and then had to drop guys. So
I mean, you
the
also
same,
see a team like Wilberding who has never even doesn't even know where the waiver tab is, and
yeah.
he's in second place. So, um,
Teach their own.
yeah, to each their own. To each their own. Let's quit the chitter chatter. Let's get into week 8. Let's start with your guys' matchup. As you just said, you two are playing. Alex, you are still number 1 overall. Matt, you are number 4 overall, which would technically put you in the playoffs if it started this week. Alex, you are projected. Let me make sure everyone's playing. Looks like Matt still needs to put a kicker in. Looks like as of right now, Alex, you are a 59% chance to win. Matt, you are a 41% chance to win without a kicker. What's your two's prediction of what's going to happen? Thoughts on the matchup? Yeah.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't realize I needed a kicker, so that's gonna be a addition for me.
There's your first move of the week.
Yep. There we go. I think I don't know. I gotta see what's up with David Montgomery. He's coming back. James Cook went off this week. That was exciting. Guy put up like 20, 22 points or something. If he plays like that, he might stay in the lineup. I like to think this is going to be closer than it looks on paper, but I still got to go with Alex here.
How do you feel about Puka Nakua's how many targets he's going to get with Cooper Kupp back? Like, is it going to be sustainable throughout the season, or?
You know what? I think he's proven himself. I can't not play that guy until he proves me otherwise, but as consistent as he's been, I mean, he's a lineup lock. So he's also a lock for a keeper. So
You got some great player names, by the way, Matt. I'm enjoying reading these.
Puke?
I'm gonna go with Alex as well here. I'm a little worried about your depth, Matt. You don't have your bench players. I wouldn't feel good starting any of them. Maybe Moss.
I've traded away some depth, man.
Yeah, the depth concerns me a little bit. It's crazy that Alex has Chubb on IR and is still plowing down wins. Alex, are you concerned about Montgomery coming back? What that would mean for Gibbs? Also, maybe talks of Henry coming to the Lions. What that would mean for Gibbs?
Yeah, I don't know if the whole Gibbs situation is kind of weird. Doesn't seem like the Lions have a ton of confidence in him yet, even though he had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm also a little nervous about just the Bills in general. I have a couple of Bills on my team. Josh Allen's been putting up great numbers still, but like that's just like a weird situation, I feel like. So that's kind of concerning. And then my best player, Tariq Hill, he's got a bad hip apparently, and I don't think that's good at all for someone who likes to run fast. That being said, I still think he could outrun anyone with a bad hip, but that's a little concerning too. And just the Dolphins as the season gets colder, I don't like that either. But I'm gonna go with me, just because I like my team and
because you've only lost once.
Yeah. So
I feel like every time on this show, you tell me I don't have enough depth.
Yeah, I mean, you tell me about Purdy has a concussion. I would never start Purdy anyways. I'm starting Gardner Minshew in another league instead of.
I gotta trade him for a kicker this week anyway.
Zach
Moss until this week lineup
was
lock.
great until JT came back full swing.
And
Would never start Brian Robinson. Would never start KJ Osborne. Maybe Nico Collins at flex. Would never start Jameson Williams. Montgomery on IR.
That's Kendrick Bourne.
Jesus Christ, it's Kendrick Bourne.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought it was KJ Osborne for a second. Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I wouldn't start him.
I like Nico.
Yeah. Christian Kirk's not bad. Ayuk is tough on the Niners because there's so many target shares, but he's a start. Komet sucks. Just drop him. Puka's fine, but he's wide receiver 2. DJ Moore's been fantastic. ETN has been great. I don't know. I mean, your bench worries me.
Okay.
So, I mean, who on your bench would you start? If someone goes out, who would be your first guy up besides Montgomery?
It's got to be Nico.
Yeah, that's what I would say as well.
Yeah. Then I'm reaching.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
So
a future you problem. That's a future you problem. Don't worry
It's a
about
future you problem. We can go to me and Hanlon, which I guess is 51-49 right now. Pretty big, pretty close game. It has a projected. Little worried, honestly, because can my team keep up the work that they did last week? I hope so, but I also got lucky. I had a 20-point defense. Yeah, I mean, I had some big numbers, but for the sake of my team morale, I'm gonna pick myself here. I'm gonna bet on myself, and hopefully my team stays hot.
I have you here also. I think Hanlon's got a good team. The amount of Dolphins he has concerns me. I guess there's only 2 in this. Oh no, I
Yeah.
guess the kicker counts, but I don't know. I think anytime you're leaning on one team, you're either hit or miss. If Kamara plays, I would give you the win here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Kamara for sure.
Liam's team's gotten better, I feel like, and I feel like he's putting up a couple wins in a row since he's been making some trades. I feel like I still do like your team in this matchup, but how do you feel about starting Kareem Hunt in your
Yeah,
last?
I don't know if that's finalized yet. I'm between Hunt, Ridley, Watson, Palmer.
Yeah. You used to have a bunch of
I
guys
probably
that
won't.
can go off, like Ridley should go off, but then their
Doesn't.
games are they're non-existent.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still unsure on Hunt, Mike Evans, and Scary Terry. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that with Palmer, Watson, Ridley, and yeah, I don't know who I'm going to start. But at least, Matt, you see the difference between at least in my thought process, my bench and your bench. I have Christian Watson, Josh Palmer, Calvin Ridley, Henderson, who I just picked up. I have 3 viable wide receivers. Like I would totally feel comfortable throwing into the mix.
I would argue Calvin Ridley, Christian Watson, and Joshua Palmer are the same as Nico Collins and Kendrick Bourne. But
I have
but
3 then.
to each their own.
Okay.
Kareem Hunt wasn't relevant until this week.
There was Kamara until his suspension came up.
Keep going. Embrace the bait.
I did trade away Jonathan Taylor for Kelsey as well as Justin Jefferson. But again, I was in a win now situation. JJ's still out at least another week. I think it might be 2 or 3 more weeks. Hopefully the Vikings keep losing and they just bench him for the rest of the year or trade him away so Cam can't use him. But yeah, I definitely regret that trade a little bit. But again, win now. Kelsey is helping me win now. I can't keep having an IR guy on my squad. So yeah, I look forward to the matchup, Hanlon. For team morale, I do have to bet on myself and for the team name as well. Next up, Wilberding and Cam. God, Wilberding has some crazy numbers here. 165, it has him projected. Cam's at 150. Nick is a 56% chance to win here. Thoughts? Is he just always going to have the fraud? But is he always going to have the highest total every week? 165 is nuts, and that's like what he is every. Alex, you get up there too, but he's constantly in the 160s. It's terrifying. Obviously, McCaffrey and Hurts are together 50 points every single week, but his team's pretty damn good.
I think it hinges on McCaffrey, and if that guy's healthy, he's good.
Yeah, this one could be an instant classic, I think. I think I'm going to go with Nick, but Cam, he's shown that he's got a great team. I don't like that he's starting Hopkins. I think he's probably dealing buys. But then you see Nick, you're starting George Pickens. But overall, I think Nick's got a better team. And there's definitely a lot of star potential on there just to go off, like McCaffrey. Still waiting for Tony Pollard to go off. Still waiting for Devontae Adams. Yeah. But I think Nick is going to win. And I think Nick's going to win by like 10 points. What do you feel about that, Cam?
Yeah. I'm going to go with Nick too, but I don't know. I think of Camix, I honestly, and he's probably the toughest player in fantasy is Gabe Davis because he's either going to have 3 catches for 2 touchdowns or 3 catches for 7 yards. Like he's not going to have 15 catches a game. He's not going to have 100 yards a game. He's just a touchdown machine. So he's tough to start. But I mean, I love the Bills tomorrow night. I'm going to be taking them heavily, -9 and 8.5. So I would maybe put in Gabe Davis instead of Hop.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and Metcalf's questionable still. I'm not sure what's wrong with him. I don't know. I'm still going to go with Nick. It's too much firepower. Yeah.
I like Nick to win this week. I like Cam to win the league.
Whoa.
Little future pick there, huh?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
he's traded a lot. He's put together a pretty competitive team.
Yep.
And he's on a roll here. He's putting up some wins. So
lock of the week, lock of the season.
I think we talked about, I don't know if it was last week, but 2 weeks ago, Alex Wilberding. I don't know if you guys have experienced too many injuries, and I feel like Wilberding's had such a good season so far. He's just asking for catastrophe.
Yeah, I haven't dealt with many injuries. A lot of my guys have been questionable, but that's about it. But I am confident-ish enough in my bench to pull through. I feel like I got some decent running back depth and some receiver depth too. But crossing my fingers, I don't cross that road.
Good God. All right. The final battle of the weekend, if that's what you want to call it, the final titty tat is number 7 versus number 8 in standings. Discharged Island Boy versus Team JC Johnny Kotz. Island Boy is a slight favorite, 53% chance. Johnny is 47% chance. I mean, there's no out. Here's also, did Cam ever do his other shotgun for not following up with that one bet he made? I don't think so. So Cam, if you're listening to this, you still should shotgun. But I'll shotgun if either of these teams come close. If either of these teams score 140 points, I'll shotgun.
I'm in on that. I'll shotgun with you.
Yes, they're both projected over that. So this should be plus money in the betting worlds. But
I'm down for
I
that.
don't buy it. I don't buy it.
I'm not gonna take that shotgun bet, but
I don't know.
I like Johnny in this one. I think that my favorite metric, as you guys know, the manager efficiency, team performance last week, discharged 61%. That's just above half the points possible. That concerns me, because even if he has the pieces, can he put them together? Johnny Kotz, on the other hand, almost 90% efficiency. The points just weren't there. So,
he started Sam Howell.
Yeah. I like Johnny here. I feel like, I don't know what it is, but discharge, just bad luck, man. Can't catch a break on that squad.
As Island Boy, what did he do last week? Did he win last week? Or no?
He lost to Liam 95-98.
Yeah, I think Island Boy's due for one. One of these days, like the Chargers offense just has to be pristine, and Eckler's got to come back at some point, or at least perform at some point. But Herbert, it's good for at least 20 points a game. Keenan Allen's having a crazy year. I just think Adrian's due. Javonte Williams has to do something, right? He's got to have one of those games. Same with Breece Hall. So I'm going to go against the grain with Island Boy.
I'm going to go Island Boy as well. I do think the Chargers have a great – I mean, it's such a good opponent for the Chargers to go off on is the Bears. I mean, terrible defense. So I'm a little worried that Herbert, Eckler, and Allen are going to score some points to put my 140 bet in jeopardy. But, yeah, I'm going to go Hanlon here. I mean, John's starting Jacoby Myers and Adam Thielen, who I just can't get behind.
Wait, you're going Island Boy?
I tried to trade for Adam Thielen last week, but
hey, Island Boy and Hanlon, you got to update your photos. This is a little confusing right now.
I know, I got confused last week, but yeah, this is Island Boy. But yeah, I think the Chargers have a good week, so I'm gonna go with Adrian here. Yeah, I would honestly cut Javonte Williams and just start Jerome Ford, or I guess he's out. Just, I don't know. Cut him. He's trash. Put Kittle in there. Why is Kittle not playing? You're starting Waller instead of Kittle?
I would put Kittle over Williams for sure.
Yeah, same. I would put him at flex.
Adrian, I'm hoping you haven't set your lineups yet, or I'd be disappointed in you.
So yeah, you went Johnny there, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though he hit almost 90% and still scored 90 points.
Yeah, I mean the guy's efficient.
Efficiency's efficiency, guys.
Can he do it though? Like,
I
don't
mean,
know.
can you
Is it
trust
enough?
Discharge to do it?
No, we've tried to trust them for 7 weeks in a row now. He did beat me, so I can't say anything.
Can't trust anyone these days.
Do we think the lowest score of the week is coming from that game?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll go Johnny's the lowest again.
Yeah, I think it'll be Johnny. Sorry, Johnny. But kudos to Johnny for shotgunning a 24-ouncer, though. That was huge.
That was big. That was big. He's making a man out of us for sure. You guys got anything else before we close out here?
No, let's rock and roll. Let's have a good clean week this week, and lots of points, lots of energy.
Discharge, Johnny. The line's open. Last week's trades still available. So,
is the deadline next week?
No, when is that?
I don't know actually.
Because I have a rebuild to do before then.
I don't know. That's a great question.
All right, sorry, we can get
trade
back
deadline's week 11.
Okay, plenty of time.
Plenty of time, but. Yes, good luck, everyone. I look forward to going to war against all of you guys. Again, new and improved team for myself. Alex is beatable. He's human. Matt already said he's looking for next year, even though he's in the playoffs as we speak. Bold. That's not great for morale. But love the slate this weekend as well. So I think that if you don't win on fantasy, hopefully you win in some bets. But that's all I got, boys. We will see you next week. See ya.
Adios.